Silva.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Ricardo Silva. I'm a farmer, a soybean farmer in Brazil, along with my brother in Mato Grosso State. I'm here on representing our Soybean Farmers Association that was founded 10 years ago, Aprosoja, Soybean Farmers Association of Mato Grosso State. And I also would like to introduce my colleague from the Brazilian Oil Seed Industry and Traders Association, Mr. Carlos Lovatelli. Please raise your hand. And also Fabio that just sit down. Carlo is the president and Fabio is the executive director of Abiovi. That we have a partnership that you understand during my presentation here. Well, I'm very happy. I would like to thank this opportunity, and I'm very happy because maybe for the first time you didn't invite Greenpeace or WWF to tell my story for you here. So I'll try to do my best and tell my own story for you. That's Mato Grosso State, that's Brazil. That's Mato Grosso State over there. We are #1 in soybean production in Brazil. That's in the central west part of our country. We produce 30% of Brazilian soybeans. That means 8% of the world soybeans. That's where the Amazon rainforest is. And that also, but we are just using 9.8% of Mato Grosso State's territory to produce all that amount of soybeans. Amazon rainforest is very big, you know, maybe 45% of the Brazilian area, 92 times the Netherlands area, or 15.5 times the United Kingdom area. That's Brazil again. These are some products we have. Coffee, orange, we are #1 and #2 in many different products. But they say we are a big world player, but are we really? Look at that. We are #5. This is China, this is United States, this is Europe, this is India, that's Brazil, and this is Argentina. So it will take a while since we will really meet these big players in grain, oil seeds, and fiber production, okay? This is all about this graphic here. My explanation about that is, look at these numbers here. We are just using 8% of the Brazilian territory to produce grains, fibers, and oil seeds. If you look to Europe here, you use 26.5. China, India, they use 48. China almost, United States almost 19. China 15% of their territories. That's why they produce that much. The confusions, some confusions that started in 2005 when Greenpeace came to Europe and talk about this, if you eat chicken McNuggets, you're taking a bite out of the Amazon. And that's the Amazon being cleared or burned, soybeans coming to Europe, and then in a McDonald's place. That it was in the same year that we found our Soybean Farmers Association. And we would like to know ourselves if that was true or not, okay? First of all, more confusions. We have like 3 concepts, different concepts about what is the Amazon. Where is the real forest? That's the real forest over there. Takes like 44.7% of the Brazilian territory. That's the Amazon biome, another concept. You see, I live here. So the city where I live, it's Amazon biome, but it's not the Amazon rainforest. And then there is the legal Amazon, the legal Amazon that it's another concept, it's a political concept for, like for the states to get money from the government. So all Mato Grosso State is in the legal Amazon, okay? The challenge to protect the forest, look at this. The forest is very big. This is the forest again. You see where is United Kingdom is here. So almost all the European countries fits in the Amazon territory. And we have 23 million people living here. It's not just a forest. 350 are indigenous people. 70% lives in cities, okay? And they are not very profitable people because or very wealthy people because 46% lives below the poverty line. They don't have many economical options over there. This is again another comparison. What is protected in the Amazon region compared to the European territory? Look at that. That's just the protected areas like parks and places that you cannot develop anymore, or take the forest out to develop at least, okay? And then again, these are the indigenous lands. So it takes quite a territory that is already protected. Nobody can touch these areas right now, okay? And, well, this was our farm in 1987. My father was a farmer in Rio Grande do Sul state, down in the south. I have a brother that is also an agronomist, and we decided to sell that farm over there in Rio Grande do Sul state and buy another one in the Cerrado. That was a big developing area, but it was a lottery if we could grow soybeans over there or not. This is the same place in 2004. That's my middle son. That's Renata, my daughter. Right now, this year, my middle son graduated in agronomy. My brother's daughter is studying agronomy, so we believe we will have the third generation that will take the farm to produce. This was the city we found. This was the closest city we found when we bought that farm over there. I was just married. I invited my wife to live there, and that's what I call love. Because do you believe there was any other reason for her to come with me to a place like that? That's the same city today. Okay, now it's a city about 25,000 people, very nice city. Our farm is 50 kilometers from the city. Where is soybean produced in Mato Grosso state? So, in the real forest, we have less than 1%. It's in the Cerrado, it's in the transition area that's not forest, it's not Cerrado, it's a transition area. So we are not soybeans. Now it's proven, it's not a driver, important driver for the deforestation in the Amazon rainforest. This study was made in 2007 by Aprosoja with satellite images. So you see where the soybean is produced. Our farm is around here. Our farm in 1987, when we start transforming it from Cerrado, converting to production, then again in 1988, building the infrastructure. Now we have some fruits over there, mangoes, that's in front of the house we stay when we stay there for 2 or 3 days during the week. We live in the city. We have employees to help us there, around 12 people works for us in our farm. This is cashew, okay? This is how it is today. We have silos, a dryer, housing for our employees. This is full of rules to be built. And we have now this new environmental legislation, the Brazilian Forestry Code. So in any other country of the world, there is no legal demand for, there is no demand for legal reserves or a protected area inside the farm. In Brazil, in the Cerrado, it was 20%. Now it's 35%. In the Amazon forest, it was 80%. It was 50%. Now it is 80%. That means if you buy a farm in the rainforest right now, you have to live 80% without any production as a native vegetation. You cannot leave your cattle to pasture, to graze. You cannot cut the timber. You have to keep it on your own cost as your legal reserve, and you are just able to farm 20%. In our farm, we can farm 80% because it was In 87, it was the law when we arrived there. Now we have this card, that's the Rural Environmental Cadastre or registration. And what that does, you have to show the government a picture of your farm. That's our farm here. And then you show where you are planting and where is your protected area. So it's like the big brother. So every year they can come back with another image and check if you are really protecting your legal reserve and protecting the environment and everything. That's the new law right now in Brazil. We have until the next year, May next year, for every farmer in Brazil, do that registration through the Minister of Environment, okay? This is the numbers for the car right now. 77% in the North region, Mato Grosso is here, 59% in the Central West region. So we understand that all the farmers will be in compliance with the law by next year. I made this as a farmer, I would like to compare someday Brazil and Europe, okay? So you have here 42% of forests. The difference is that here it's all planted, you can cut and replant again. It's a business. Ours is all native. That's the pasture area, that's the crop area on both farms, let's say that way. Now look, the grain production, yours is much greater than ours over there in Brazil. That's the GDP per capita. So that's the farmer's salary, let's say. Yours is much better than ours over there, okay? That's the emissions per capita, 1.8 tons per Brazilian, while here in Europe is 7.5 tons. And that's the Human Development Index. That's a quality of life measurement. So yours here is much better than ours over there. And that is to tell you, it's not to blame on you on anything, but it's just to tell you that we are working over there in Brazil to achieve these numbers that you have here. I'd like to have that income per year someday. And agribusiness is a very important part of our economy. So that's what we are trying to do there in Brazil. That's my brother with his two kids, Juliana and Leonardo. We are harvesting cotton in 2000. Now, when that deforestation talk started, that was the deal. Deforestation were rising, also the soybean area. Now we have a reduction in the deforestation, but the soybean area is still growing in Brazil. Okay, so that's why it looks like that time the soybeans was like a driver, but it's not. In the main future, because of the legal reserve and the new law, many farmers will have to replant native vegetation in their farms. So we believe that we will have carbon sequestration compared to the deforestation in the coming years, okay? A little of sustainability. Look the yields. In the past years, the soybean yields in Brazil increased 300%, while the area just increased 190%. That's thanks to the better yields we have right now. If we have the same yields as we had in 2001, to produce the same amount of soybeans we produced last year, we will have to plant 15 million more hectares. So we saved 15 million more hectares compared to, because of the better yields we have right now, okay? That's irrigation, cotton irrigation in our farm. That's the Mato Grosso production per hectare. We are able to do 2 crops over there right now. That's a technology that we are developing. We are planting soybeans today in our farm. Every farmer in Mato Grosso is doing that. Then we harvest the soybeans in January, February, and we are able to plant corn or cotton or sunflower. As the second crop, we'll harvest the corn in June. So right now we used to have 3.7 tons per hectare of production. and now we have 8.7 with the second crop. So we had an increase of more than 130% of production per hectare in the same year. That's some other pictures of our farm, corn after soybeans, harvesting corn. That's sunflower in our farm. It's beautiful, isn't it? Now that's another technology we are developing with the help of Embrapa, our largest research company in Brazil. You plant soybeans in October, November. January, February, you plant corn along with pasture. You can see here, this is pasture. This is corn and this is pasture. Then you harvest the corn during May and June, and from July to October, you are able to graze that pasture and have a third crop of cattle, let's say that way. Then you start all over again in October. You sell the cattle and plant soybeans again. That's what we do in our farm, some silage from corn, soybeans, these are some rhea, and cattle grazing in the pasture during the dry season. Well, let me talk about a farmer's perspective from environmental services. That's our farm. We plant 2.4 thousand hectares, 80%, and we protect 600 hectares, 20% of legal reserve. If I assume that this area here worth 10% of the soybean area, just 10%, my family have investments of $1.5 million on that 600 hectares of legal reserve that we have in our farms, Okay, every single farmer in Mato Grosso State, to be a farmer in Mato Grosso State, the first thing you have to do is to buy an environmental protected area that will keep that way forever. It's part of the deal over there. Believe me, I don't have $1.5 million, my family. If I assume my house, my mother's house, my brother's house, the cars that we have, I'm not complaining about life. I have a very, very nice life. But I don't have 1.5 million in assets outside the farm for my living purpose. But my family do have $1.5 million invested in protection, environmental protection. So now make an idea on how much the legal reserves all over Mato Grosso could worth, okay? That's another interesting thing here. If my farm was in the USA, they have the CRP program over there, Conservation Reserve Program, but it's paid. They paid $103 per acre. That's the Illinois average. So I could make $153,000 per year. Ooh, I would like to have that money in my pocket, okay? That's we don't do that in Brazil. There is no payment for you to keep the legal reserve. That's another impact. You see our farm here. The legal reserve, they are all attached. There are some farms over there. So this is a biodiversity corridor that is created for the wildlife, okay? So this new sustainable landscape, like no-till, erosion control, intensive use of land, riparian areas for water protection, everything, legal reserves. This is the picture of that compared to the traditional landscapes on a farm. Has to have some value in the marketplace. If it's not money, at least an understanding that we are doing something different over there in Brazil to protect the environment and also produce at the same place, at the same time, with the legal reserve and the permanent preservation areas along the rivers. You see, this is a tapir, that's in our farm. That's the center pivot over here, no-till. Well, let me tell you about the Soja Plus program. The Soja Plus program is a program that we design along with Abiove, the industry association in Brazil, and it's to increase the competitiveness and achieve better sustainability. The program's main objective is a constant improvement of the sustainability over the years. We started in 2011, okay? But let me address what Soja Plus is not. It's not a certification program. Certification is not our goal. Because when you certify, you exclude. We are a farmers association. If we certify some of our farmers, maybe the most part of the farmers will be excluded of the certification. We want to include everything. That's why we are a mainstream program trying to include all the farmers and all the industry in the program. Maybe in the future, based on premiums and other benefits, the farmer by himself, he will need a certification, but that's his decision, not an association decision. We are not an option for any other program, okay? Like Responsible Soy, Terra. Maybe we are helping these guys with their certification schemes by trying to improve the level of the environment and the labor laws of our farmers. Well, we started in 2011, and what we do, we bring information and trainings to the farmers, to the employees, how to get in compliance with the Brazilian legislation on labor, safety, and environment. It's open and free, and the farmer decides the pace he's gonna do the improvements at his farm based on his financial, of course, needs. And the trust on our association is key to have more and more farmers included. Right now we are exporting the program to other states, Salto Mato Grosso, Bahia, and Minas Gerais. This is what we do. That's a training for working in the heights, okay? 81 so far, 3 states, 1,620 people. Field days, we take the information for the farmers in field days, asking them to join the program. Seminars, do you recognize that bald guy over there? That's me. Okay, we already did 5, along with Abiov. What else? Okay, more trainings. Yeah, all the trainings are for free. The farmers paid from another way for their training on this program. Documents like brochures and books, quality of life at farm, okay? More. Building manual that's full of rules for you to build something in your farm. There are almost 300 rules on safety in Brazil for the labor laws. We call that labor laws, okay? So there is like a manual for you if you want to build something in your farm, like the canteen or the employer's house or the diesel tank, the shop. Everything is full of rules to obey. We have also a little film that the farmer can present to their employees every morning, 10 minutes, how to handle agrochemicals safely. We have 10 different movies like that right now. How to prevent accidents. We have farm visits. This guy is one that works for the Soja Plus program. We already visit 790 farms since 2012 to last 2 months ago. More than 1,700 visits right now. This is things that are ruled on the farm. So we already touched 4 million tons of soybeans in Mato Grosso state in the different regions. That represents 17% of Mato Grosso soy production, okay? Just for you to have an idea, if you wanna start from zero the construction of our buildings in your farm, look, the investment will be around 200,000 euros. So it's nothing. Somebody said Rome was not built in one day here today, yes? Well, to build a headquarters with all the rules we have to obey, it's not from one day to another. That's why maybe the farmer will need some time to get in compliance with everything. Well, now, we stated this program in 2011, start working in the fields in 2012. Then we had the visit of FIFEC, the Feed Industry Federation of Europe. My colleagues from FIFEC are here. They came to Brazil to discuss an alternative of how to show the sustainability here in Europe. And we, after 1 year of negotiation, they finally understand that this Soya Plus program could be something to pay attention to. So some months ago, if I'm not wrong, April, you launched a verification system. Yeah? And this verification system, they want to use as the Federation to tell all the consumers or who wants to know about sustainability, not just in Brazil, but in the United States, Argentina, the main clients of your industry here, okay? We are moving ahead. Now, what we are doing at Aprosoja, and we'll discuss these things with these guys maybe in some minutes after this meeting here. We are developing, along with this NGO here, a tool. It's a map at the internet that we will show whatever we want to show, but we can show what you want us to show for your consumers here. Open, transparent. That's what we are trying to do over there in Brazil with our soybean production. Not just soybean, corn, whatever, because the farm is the same. Maybe the product is different in 1 year, but the farming will be the same. Okay, so we started with 3 information. These are the different counties in Mato Grosso State. So by county, this is where the soybeans are. This is the Amazon rainforest, remember? So by county, what's the size of the soybean area? This is the first information we are putting in our web page here. Then, what's the percentage of each county of the soybean produced in each county that is enrolled in the Soya Plus program? That's the second information here. It's around 17%. So we have a long way to go already. Yeah? And third, the percentage of the area of the county that is already enrolled at the federal registry, the CAR. Remember I showed you the CAR? So that's what we are doing. Maybe we can put whatever we want here in the near future. Maybe we can look at the verification system of FIFEC and put some other information there, very transparent instead. So that's the real story here we are trying to build, something different. I really don't know if there is something like that right now in the world. I don't want to be, yes, but it's something different, okay? We are building this together, we can build this along with you, the European industry. That's, we are inviting you to step in this program. Because if you certify, you are not helping the farmer on the other side. Maybe there is a guy that goes there, checklist, well, you're not good. Oh, okay, you are okay, but you're not good. No, let's stop with that. Let's help the guy that's not good so far through Soya Plus program to achieve what you want here for your supply. So that's the opportunity we have here right now through FIFEC, FEDIOL, and maybe your Confederation join this program along with us over there in Brazil. Well, this is something we have at our farm. We can drink the water in the spring. And this is something we don't want to lose at all. I'm proud of that. Thank you for the opportunity. Come to Brazil and visit us. And we are very open and want to be transparent. And that's I believe that's a good opportunity for us to work together. Thank you.